Hello and welcome to POL. I'm Don Jacobs, and I've got to tell you something. We're going to change gears here. Pretty much a story we've never done with Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You may remember Rick Koval. We've picked snakes and turtles and frogs and edible plants. But did you know that he's an expert in rocks? We went out rock collecting.
Well, we're in Columbia County, and kind of in the northern section of Columbia County. And many years with Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, Jake, we did a lot of episodes of animals, snakes, frogs, even fossils, right? Yep. We did some great episodes of plants. I don't know if you know, I'm a big avid rock hound.
I do know that.
Yes, you do. And so I'm a rock collector, mineral collector. And so what we do, we're going to try to find some minerals, but these are the ugliest, boringest rocks that you would ever, why you even pick up this piece of gravel? But the minerals that I really collect and have a passion for are fluorescent minerals, the ones that kind of glow in the dark, and I'll talk about that later.
So I walk up to this and I say, okay, a bunch of shale, a bunch of rocks, and you look at it totally different than I do.
So what's unique about, like, in the coal cracking area where you and I are from, there's no limestone, very rare. And this is a rich, hence the name of this area, it's a limestone outcrop.
Oh, Lime Ridge.
So this area, this is all limestone rock, and with the science of it, for millions of years, when you have carbonic fluids form, and it kind of precipitates, and it forms calcite.
Okay.
Now, minerals are also mixed with this that we can't even see. One of it's called manganese. It's a common earth element. Okay. And with that, it activates the fluorescence, if it does. Right. Again, only 10% of minerals fluoresce. In this case, we're going to look for these bands of calcite amongst the gray.
You think that's going to fluoresce for us?
It might. It might glow or fluoresce a cream color, a white, or a yellow, or an orange even.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's just like almost like you're picking up little Christmas presents and finding out later if it's a keeper.
So what makes them glow?
It's the science about it.
Yeah.
They have to be tickled by sunlight, ultraviolet, but in this case, when we take them back home, ultraviolet lights. Okay. And the science of fluorescence, only about 10% of minerals fluoresce, Jake, and the word fluorite came from the fluorescent comes from fluorite. Okay. And think of a mineral with atoms, and minerals are made of atoms. And atoms have electrons. I'm going a little science here. And so the electrons are spinning in their orbits. It's almost like they're driving on Interstate 81. Right. And when they're tickled with ultraviolet, that's like, remember the 1970s black lights, or even sunlight sometimes. Yep. Well, the photons, meaning the ultraviolet, jumps the electron into a higher speed highway. Okay. Okay, so Earth jumps to Mars. Right. And as it's doing that, there's a lot of energy involved. And so it says, I have to get back to my own highway. Right. And when it does that, it emits a color. It could be cream, it could be white, it could be red, it could be multiple colors. And we see that as visible fluorescence, but we have to be in a total dark area to see that. Now look inside that's hidden, look at the crystals.
Oh, see, that's beautiful already.
Now some people would collect it just for the calcite crystal, even though it's more of a massive crystal. Right. It's not like the diamond shape, but you can see the glistening in the sun.
I could.
So all inside that are minerals that had formed millions of years ago from the Mississippian period, the Silurian period of time. And
so
we'll
this
see
is
what
the
happens.
one we were looking for, but now that it's broken, that's even prettier.
And if that fluoresces, it's going to be brighter because it's nice and clean.
Okay, yeah. But I'm going to say I'm on Facebook and I see a couple of many groups now. It seems more and more popular to collect rocks and minerals.
I guess instead of buying them, because some are costly, but it's a fun earth science type of hobby, passion. It could be, some people sell them, collect and sell. There's a lot of shows. There's a lot of there's mineral clubs that I really advocate, and we'll talk about that later, to join to get into really good areas. People like crystals. And mind you, Jake, all of your viewers on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life are mineral collectors, and indirectly, they don't realize this, but those diamonds that the ladies are wearing, right? The gold that some of the guys wear in bling, that's all minerals, and it comes from miners and quarries and mines. So, and it's a big passion, and to find something by yourself that's a gem keeper or this precious to you. And I run into thousands of people that every state they go to, they might pick a rock from the road and have a little collection of it. I got a mineral or a rock from a different area, or they go to a museum or a state park.
It's like collecting shells on the seashore.
Absolutely, absolutely, and even fossils too. Yeah, cool. So this area is unique, that it might have some fluorescence. Actually it does, but that I collected for years ago. Right. And hopefully we'll find some today.
Let's go.
Okay. Now here's a good example of how calcite makes a crystal form, the cleavages. So how it cracks and cleavages on a kind of a plane. It's almost like a trapezoid, or they call them rhombs. And some people just like that type of crystal. And see how it's cracking?
Oh yeah.
Flat plane.
Oh, look how shiny it is too.
And that could fluoresce a yellow, a red, a cream, or not at all, depending if it has that certain activator, maybe
Right.
manganese, which is in the soil here as well, in the rock. So you never know, but even those little pieces might.
It's going in.
Yeah, that's good, and I'm gonna try these.
Okay. Yeah.
This is almost pure calcite that I'm pulling out. So this is gonna be interesting. Look at the crystals.
See, I never would have thought that that was white inside that rock.
And once in a while, you might have a vug, and a vug is kind of like a cave inside the mineral, and that's where you have those geodes.
Oh, yeah.
And you can find that as well, and you might get crystal formations, which is sought after by most collectors on Earth, crystals.
Yeah.
In my case, I like the massive, boring-looking rocks that turn into magic at nighttime.
Yeah, nice. I always say to myself, where do you learn this stuff, Rick? You know more about rocks. You also know about all those other critters. You're just an amazing guy. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to go to his home and see what we've collected.